Welcome back, focused learners. Today, we're diving into an explainer on a huge topic, capitalism. You know, the absolute engine driving so much of our modern world. We hear the word constantly, right? In the news, in politics, just chatting with friends. But taking a step back to actually map out how the whole shebang works, it's incredibly rewarding. So let's unpack it, from the ground level all the way up to the global scale. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is capitalism? It's a word that gets thrown around a lot, often with some pretty heavy emotion attached to it, but for our purposes today, we're going to strip all of that away and just look at the raw mechanics. Basically, what is the fundamental blueprint of this economic system? At its absolute core, capitalism is an economic system where everyday individuals and private businesses own the property, the factories, the resources, all of it. And the defining characteristic here? They operate freely to earn profits, instead of being controlled by the government. In a non-capitalist system, the state might dictate exactly what gets produced and who gets to produce it. But under capitalism, individuals get the freedom to start their own businesses, sell their products or services, and reap the financial rewards of their own ideas and hard work.
Part 1. The Tea Shop. Understanding the mechanics.
To really picture this, imagine you want to open a neighborhood tea shop. First, you take a risk and invest your own hard-earned money. Then you've got the freedom to choose your location and set your own prices. Next up, you hustle to attract customers, making sure your tea is absolutely delicious and your service is top-notch. And if you pull all of that off successfully, you earn a profit. In this system, your direct effort, the quality of your product, and how well you treat your customers lead directly to your financial reward. But just as you're enjoying the sweet, sweet smell of brewing success, boom, your neighbor decides to open a rival tea shop right across the street. Classic neighbor move, right? So you're focusing on premium quality and amazing service, but your new rival decides to undercut you with lower prices. Suddenly, you're both super stressed out, but you're also both forced to up your game. You might introduce some wild new flavors, while they might roll out a killer loyalty program. This little neighborhood rivalry perfectly illustrates the core concept of competition, which is literally the heartbeat of the capitalist engine.
Part 2. The 5 Pillars, Core Features of the System.
Pillar number 1 is private ownership. Under capitalism, people, not just the state, have the fundamental right to own things. We're talking businesses, land, factories, intellectual property, real estate, you name it. This private ownership is the absolute bedrock that the entire system is built upon.
Next up, pillar number 2, freedom of enterprise. This just means that anyone, you, your neighbor, really anyone tuning into this explainer can start a business. As long as you're playing by the established laws of the country, the market is wide open for you to jump in, experiment, and run your enterprise freely.
Pillar number 3 is competition. Think back to our two battling tea shops. Businesses are constantly competing with one another, fighting tooth and nail for the consumer's attention and, well, their wallets. To win that fight, they are forced to provide better products, superior services, and reasonable prices. Without competition, honestly, the whole system just gets sluggish.
Moving to pillar number 4, the profit motive. At the end of the day, businesses work to earn profits. It's the proverbial carrot dangling at the end of the stick. And this motive is incredibly powerful. It's the reason people take huge risks, invest their life savings, work crazy hours, and constantly come up with new, innovative ideas. And finally, wrapping up the pillars, number 5, supply and demand. In a capitalist system, there is no giant central committee sitting in a room deciding what a loaf of bread should cost. Instead, prices are naturally sorted out by how much people want a product, that's your demand, versus how much of it is actually out there, the supply. If literally everyone wants tea and there's a massive shortage of tea leaves, well, the price naturally shoots up.
Part 3, advantages versus disadvantages. A balanced look at the impact.
The advantages of this system are, quite frankly, undeniable. Capitalism is a massive driver for innovation, mostly because businesses just have to keep creating new things to survive. That gives us, the consumers, a massive array of choices. It also creates widespread employment as successful businesses grow, and it directly rewards people who are willing to roll up their sleeves and take calculated risks. However, the disadvantages are stark realities. A major systemic issue here is income inequality, where a small few can become immensely wealthy while others struggle to afford basic needs. We also see that large, ultra-wealthy companies can morph into powerful monopolies, effectively crushing the little guys. Plus, because the main goal is profit, businesses might neglect the environment or exploit workers if they aren't kept in check. On top of that, essential life-saving services can sometimes become way too expensive for lower-income populations. It's a complex trade-off.
So, the crucial point is this. In reality, most countries have a mixed economy. While folks love to argue about pure capitalism versus pure socialism online, the truth is that pure, totally unregulated capitalism is mostly just a theoretical baseline. Out in the real world, the modern economy operates almost entirely in the gray area.
A mixed economy essentially bridges the gap. It's an economic system that actively combines the free, profit-driven operation of capitalist businesses with necessary government involvement and regulation. The goal here is to harness all that awesome innovation and wealth generation of capitalism while simultaneously using government intervention to smooth out those really harsh disadvantages we just talked about.
So what does that government involvement actually look like in practice? Well, it steps in where the pure profit motive might fail society. Governments use the tax dollars generated by that booming capitalist economy to provide essential public services. We're talking public education, healthcare access, building roads, and maintaining public safety. On top of that, the government acts as a kind of referee. They write laws to protect workers from being exploited, they shield us consumers from dangerous products, and they enforce environmental protections. Basically, they make sure businesses don't just destroy the natural world in their relentless pursuit of a profit.
Which brings us to a final thought to wrap up this explainer. I want you to take a look at the local businesses right in your own neighborhood. The cafes, the grocery stores, those cool independent shops down the street. How do supply, demand, and the profit motive shape your daily choices and the businesses you choose to support? Are you seeing the real-world benefits of competition? Or maybe you're noticing the struggles of smaller shops trying to survive against massive corporate giants? Getting a handle on these mechanics doesn't just help you understand abstract global economics, it helps you decode the actual reality of the streets you walk down every single day. Keep observing, keep questioning. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.